those last handful of episodes of Yellowstone were pretty solid. I didn't know that there was only like 6 of them left. I think they aired late last year, right? And they just dropped on Peacock recently, so I finally finished the show. It is, it was a pretty solid ending, despite, obviously, spoilers, by the way. John Dutton dies in like the first episode back, and you never see him. It's like so crazy. It's like you never see him on screen, and it's just like a big part of the show. Feels like you feel what the characters feel, which is just like this emptiness and this sudden just shift, and like, oh, now that he's gone, like they have to deal with all of the what happens with the ranch afterwards. And I think despite that, the reason he wasn't in it or whatever is because Kevin Costner was working on Horizon and American Saga, and the scheduling conflicts and just like the scripts for the show not being finished essentially were a big issue, and then they just had to write him off or whatever. So it's crazy how that happened, but the fact that they had to do it without him, I think they did it really, really fucking well. The fact that they end up selling it to the natives, who they were basically enemies for basically the whole show. Suddenly the natives become their way to like say fuck you to the corporations and making sure they don't build some shit on it, because they'd rather the land be preserved and not be theirs than sell it to some fucking assholes and they just like just take away all of that. And what they say at the very end, there's like a moment where there's like a voiceover at the end, and what she says is like what really stood out to me is, oh, you basically have to like have to rape it in order to sell it. And that was like when it comes to selling land, and that was just very impactful. All of the whole point of it, the whole theme of it in that sense was very it leaves you a lot to think about, a lot of things to think about as far as just the future of what not only the US is going to be, but future of the world as a whole, and how that's just growing a lot quicker. It's all happening a lot quicker than I'd prefer, at least. So there's also the other theme of does the American cowboy survive in the 21st century? Do they belong in this future tech-driven world? So a lot to think about. The show just like was to me a very important message of that, with some good action-packed stuff for a good few seasons there. At least I know a lot of people have their opinions on the whole tone shift. There's a whole tonal shift as far as like the show's very like action-packed and driven by like it's driven with gunfights and explosions, a lot of exciting shit like that, and like near-death moments for a lot of the characters, crazy shit. And then out of nowhere it just gets more into obviously their role in the political world, and John Dutton being governor and all that shit, and the economics of all those things as well, like their place, just like the how that large amount of money in these deals, and how these things are handled, how there's like just that pressure of that, and how they want to, like I was just saying, how they want to handle the land and how they want to handle the ranch itself and all these things. So there's a huge shift in the show, but I still loved it, and you still care about the characters. You still love every bit of all of them. I think Rip alone is one of the most interesting, one of my favorite characters of any show ever. He totally steals the show. Him and Beth, obviously. Beth is another one that like they and John Dutton, and then obviously Casey and Jamie are very. All of them, like not only the family, but everybody else, like all the characters are great, but those few really stand out. All the actors are just so solid, and every bit of the writing is very good too. So thank you, Taylor Sheridan. It's also Memorial Day, so thank you to all the troops, whether they are here or not with us. I can't thank you enough for the fighting you do, and the what you stand for, as well as what I stand for when it comes to our country, and Yeah. Being in America, so that's something to think about as well. All of this is just kind of like hitting the timing of all of this is just oddly, it's very cathartic in a lot of ways. So I'm just kind of thinking about that now as well. Despite America being extremely divisive, I still love my country very much, and it'll always be my home. And I'm very happy to say that, or I feel a lot of pride in saying that, I should say. So, yeah. Thank you, Yellowstone. Thank you, Taylor Sheridan, the cast and crew. That was some of the most amazing TV I've ever watched in my life.